Hi, my name is Jake, and I am a bookish drummer. So for this video, I'm bringing you guys yet another book haul. And this is a big one. I think I've got a little bit more than 30 books to show y'all today. And a lot of these are just, since my last book haul, from my birthday book haul, a lot of these I got for Christmas, or some of these I got with gift cards. And then some of these I just picked up because I like collecting books. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Let's start out with some books that I got for myself. These first three books, I should say, I all got from Goodwill when I popped in there one day. The first book I have is A Dance of Cloaks by David Dalglish. Now, I have one of his other books, The Bladed Faith, and I'm probably going to read that one first. I think this is probably one of his older books, and possibly YA from the look of it. I don't really know, but I recognize the name, and I got it for like $1, so why not, right? I also picked up The Family Plot by Megan Collins. I have no idea what this book is about, but it looks, like a thriller, and I got it for $1. So, will I ever read it? This next book, one of my best friends has read this for like a book club and said that it was pretty good. So, I picked it up for a few bucks. That would be Deacon King Kong by James McBride. I think this is supposed to have won like a bunch of awards, supposed to be like somebody's book of the year. I don't know, but I don't really know that much about it. All I know is that it's supposed to be pretty good. So, yeah, I'll give it a shot at some point, probably. Next book, I think I randomly picked up at a Walgreens because I had to go there for whatever reason. I was just like, you know what books does Walgreens have on sale? And I did find one book. That would be A Slow Fire Burning by Paula Hawkins. Now, I think about a year ago, I tried to read this book, but it was very slow. A slow fire burning. And I just wasn't in the mood for it at the time. But maybe I'll be more in the mood for it now. Who knows? But yeah, got that for pretty cheap. And these next couple of books I got from my local used bookstore, Paperbacks Inc. Couple interesting looking thrillers. The first one would be Copycat by Alex Lake. This is supposed to be about someone who, like, on Facebook or some kind of, social media, like their profile gets hacked and like someone's being like a copycat of somebody, and they're trying to figure out why that's happening and how it's happening. So you never know. I'll try it one day. Probably. And the other book I got at my local used bookstore is Do Not Disturb by Claire Douglas. It's supposed to be another pretty good thriller. I like to go into thrillers not knowing too much, so I don't even remember what the synopsis was. I've already forgot it, so I'll jump into it at some point knowing nothing. And these next chunk of books I actually bought using various gift cards, whether it was for Barnes & Noble or Amazon or Second & Charles. All of these books I bought with gift cards that people gifted to me. All right, let's show off what I got at Second & Charles. Someone gave me like a $25 gift card for that, which was very nice. And one thing that I bought was a mass market paperback edition of Rhythm of War by Brandon Sanderson, the fourth Stormlight book. And it was a fun buy because I didn't have this one in mass market. I'm trying to collect all of them in mass market. So, yeah, one of my favorite authors of all time. And then I got Wild Cards Book 2, which this one's called Aces High. I haven't even read the first one. And if you don't know, Wild Cards is like a superhero sci-fi World War II like collective but I'm not explaining this very well. Basically, George R. R. Martin created this like superhero sci-fi universe that takes place like within World War II, and he basically gets a bunch of different sci-fi writers to write stories within this like collected universe. And I think there's supposed to be like 30 Wild Cards books. This was started in the 80s, and yeah, this is book 2. I have book 1, and I still haven't read it. I'm honestly not sure if I'm going to love it, even though, you know, it is like George R. R. Martin's baby. I'm not a big superhero fan, so I'm not sure if I'm going to love it, but I found book 2 for very cheap, and yeah, this is definitely like an 80s or 90s cover. Pretty fun. A few other books I got at Second and Charles. How It Happened by Michael Corta. Again, it's a thriller, and when I read the back of it, it must have impressed me, but I don't remember what it's about. So how did it happen? I don't know. We're going to find out maybe one day. Another book I got is Lie Awake by S.Y. Holmes. I think this was in the horror section or maybe thriller. I don't remember. But it's supposed to be a self-published book, I believe. And I think it's a local author who's from Virginia. So that'll be fun. If I can read this and enjoy it, that'll be fun. And the last thing I picked up at Second and Charles was a bind-up sci-fi trilogy. And that would be the Fated Sun trilogy by C.J. Cherry. Maybe that's his name or her name. I don't know. And yeah, it was pretty cheap. And who knows if I'll actually get to this. I think this was like 2000s sci-fi. I was scared that it was going to be like old sci-fi, which I don't really jive well with, but I'll give more, not like modern today, but like modern 2000 sci-fi a try. I honestly don't remember what this one's about, but yeah, maybe I'll read it, maybe I won't. But it was cheap. And then I got 3 books off of Amazon with some Amazon gift cards. First one being Swan Song by Robert McCammon. Yeah. Me and Andrew from Andrew's Wizardly Reads are going to buddy read this, I believe, in April. And it's a bit of a chunker, but I'm definitely interested in it because it's supposed to be Robert's version of The Stand. And if you don't know, I think The Stand is probably Stephen King's most overrated book. It's not terrible, but I think he has much better books, and it's just over-bloated. And this one is pretty chunky, too, so we'll see how I get along with it. But it'll be funny as hell if, like, Andrew hates this book and I love it, and we just kind of flip-flop, like, oh, The Stand's better. No, this is better. We'll see. I also picked up Lost Gods by Bram. And Bram is definitely one of my newer favorite horror authors because he wrote The Child Thief and Krampus, and I love Krampus. I love both of those. So I'm definitely, of course, very interested in this. Bram is very good at telling like very dark, but also entertaining books. And also, I'm assuming it's with this book too. There's also lots of crazy illustrations. Holy crap, look at that. Yeah. So yeah, it'll be a fun time, I believe. I also picked up The Dangers of Smoking in Bed by Mariana Enrique, and I probably pronounced that wrong, but I'm interested in this because after reading Tender as the Flesh, which was written by an Argentina author or someone from Argentina, I'm interested in South American horror now, and this is supposed to be one of the best like horror short story collections. I think this one and Things We Lost in the Fire are supposed to be very good, so definitely interested in checking this out. And I also picked up a few books at Barnes & Noble. One of them is Central Park by, I have no idea how to pronounce that. Whoops. But apparently this is actually a French author, and they wrote this book in French, and then it got translated because apparently he's very popular. I had to get Stacy to read a little bit of the Goodreads stuff because it was all written in French. But what she told me of it sounds pretty good. So I will get to this at some point. And the other book that I got at Barnes & Noble is Empire of Exiles by Aaron M. Evans. Now, this one has a very cool and interesting premise, and also I saw that Alan loves this book, and it was one of his favorite books of last year, so I'm even more interested to check this one out. And now we're getting to the fun part where we talk about all of the books that were gifted to me. And I will start out with a couple books that my mom gifted me for Christmas, and that would be Howling Dark and Demon in White, book 2 and 3 of Sun Eater. Now, I've already read this one, and while it was better than Empire of Silence, I still didn't love it, but I did give it 4 stars. It was a definite improvement on Empire of Silence, so I will definitely be continuing with Demon in White at some point. It's really chunky, so I'm not sure when I'll get to it, but thank you, Mom. Also, my brother and his wife gifted me a few things. One of them is Quentin Tarantino, which I think is his new kind of like nonfiction about random like 60s and 70s movie called Cinema Speculation. So I will definitely be reading this sometime because Quentin Tarantino, if you don't know, my all-time favorite movie director. They also got me this very cool issue of Entertainment Weekly, which is all about Stephen King, so they knew I was going to love that. I will flip through this at some point. Yeah, they know me well. Also, this isn't book related, but I figured since I'm wearing this shirt, I don't know if you can see, but it's Weapons of Mass Percussion, which is an excellent t-shirt that my mom gifted me. My brother and his wife also gifted me these pins that are also drumsticks. How fun is that? I also wanted to mention a few gift exchanges that took place on the Wizardly Duo Discord. And go check that out if you're not a part of that community because it's awesome. This first one was kind of like just the general everybody in Wizardly Duo Discord. And I'll put the name up here, but this person was kind enough to gift me these books. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they gifted me some great books. One of them is Pier Nessie, which of course I've read before and gave it 5 stars. One of my favorite books of 2021, and I needed the paperback version, so they sent me that. Also, I Hate Fairyland, which I haven't finished yet, but I've read part 1 of, and it's hilarious, so I'm having a great time with this. So thank you to this person that I can't remember their name. I'm a terrible person. Also, the moderators over at the Wizardly Duo Discord, we did a gift exchange as well. And funny enough, my girlfriend Stacy picked my name, or got my name picked for her. So she got me a few books as well. One of them is The Bard's Blade by Brian D. Anderson, and the other is The Bone Ships by R.J. Barker. Yes, those are their names. I am very excited for both of these. Although Andrew seems to love this book and this series, and we tend to have very opposite taste in fantasy, so... Oh. But I'm also excited for this book. Thank you, babe. Speaking of Stacy, she also got me another book, and that would be My Darkest Prayer by S.A. Cosby. I'm going to read this one after I read Blacktop Wasteland, which I think is his previous book to this one, but I plan on reading both of them this year because Razorblade Tears was phenomenal, and he'll probably end up being one of my new favorite authors, you know, the more that I read him. So yeah, definitely very excited for My Darkest Prayer. And speaking of Stacy, Stacy's mom also gifted me some books. Stacy's mom has got it going. Stacy hates that song, by the way. But yes, her mother gifted me a couple books. One of them is The Making of Us by Lisa Jewell. Of course, Lisa Jewell is one of my all-time favorite authors. I think this one's supposed to be one of her more contemporary books, so I'm not sure if I'll love it as much as her other thrillers, but I'm going to read it anyway. And the other one is Jade Legacy which is the third and final book in the Greenbone Saga trilogy. I will be reading Jade War in January. That's the plan, at least. So hopefully I can get to this book in February. Extremely excited because apparently this is supposed to be like the best book ever, and it cures cancer. My good booktube pal, Josephina from the channel Fina Reads, also gifted me a book for Christmas, and that would be Chasing Graves by Ben Galley. And this is the first book in the Chasing Graves trilogy. Wouldn't you know it? I put this on my wish list a long time ago because I guess whoever introduced me to this, I was intrigued. And I don't remember what it's about, but I will read it eventually. So thank you, Josephina. My good friend Sharon Dwyer also gifted me some books. One of them is Keep It in the Family by John Marrs. I'm definitely excited for this one because I enjoyed his other book, The Passengers, which was a great and very fast-paced thriller. So I'm expecting good things out of this one. Also, she gifted me Only the Stains Remain by Ross Jeffrey. And she said this book kind of blew her away by how disturbing and thought-provoking it was. It's just a little tiny horror novella, but sometimes horror novellas can be very just impactful, and it definitely was for her. So I'm definitely looking forward to checking it out. I have one more book to show y'all, and I saved it for last because I didn't buy this book. I won it. And that would be The Thousand Deaths of Arter Bin. Got that right, finally. This was gifted to me by Patrick, who you can see on several Discords that I'm a part of. He gifted me this book because he lost a bet to me for football-related reasons. Not fantasy football, but I'm a fan of the Seattle Seahawks, and he's a fan of the Atlanta Falcons. And basically at the start of the season, we made a book bet. Whoever's team has the worst record, they have to buy the other person a book. And the Seahawks ended up making the playoffs at 9-8, and I believe the Falcons did not make the playoffs, and they were 6-11? Or 7-10, I don't know, but they lost. Patrick lost, so he bought me the Dragon Poop book. And if you don't know, this is the Dragon Poop book where Dragon Poop is supposed to be like the magic system. I heard that and I was like, okay, I need to read that. So yeah, thank you, Patrick, for kindly gifting the winner his book. All right, I believe that's it. Hopefully that's it, because that's a lot of books. And you know what? I'm probably forgetting something, but hopefully not. I think that's like 30 or 31 books I counted. So yeah, a very large book haul since my last book haul. Hopefully I don't buy that many books for like the next few months or so, because I just have so many books to get to. So little time. But hopefully I can make it work. And yeah. What did you guys think of my book haul? Are you excited for me to read any of these? Are any of these your all-time favorite books? Or on the flip side, do you not want me to read any of these books and you think they're crap? Let me know down in the comments below. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the YouTube channel and the Book Astronomer Discord. And I have my Patreon if you want to go support me there. I have an Amazon wish list if you'd like to buy me books. But you certainly don't have to, because I have plenty of books. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a fantastic day.